Hi there, this is Peter Vekselman. So what I want to show you today, this is, we don't need to zero in on this necessarily, but this is a termination and release. We all know what those are. Basically a conclusion of a contract or of a deal that never happened. And it's actually, this was our seller of a property requesting that they receive earnest money from a person that we basically flipped the deal to. So, make a long story short, this is one of those circumstances that I hear about all the time. Well, what happens when you're wholesaling a property and your end buyer goes around you directly to the seller? You know, I hear about it all the time, and it's one of those things that puts the fear of inaction into so many investors. They're always so afraid, well, you know, I cannot, you know, I'm afraid to show my back-end buyers the deals because they may need to meet the front-end sellers and all that. And I could tell you for years upon years, my answer is the same way. Don't worry, it doesn't happen. Well, guess what? It happened to us just last week, where basically our front-end buyer ended up going directly with our seller. They cut us out of the deal, and they made the deal happen. A couple things. This is the first time that at least I'm aware of that's ever happened to me. Now remember, I've got thousands upon thousands of deals behind me. Tremendous amount of credibility in the marketplace. Consistent deals on a weekly basis. You know, deal after deal after deal after deal. One time it's ever happened. So the first thing is this whole concept of buyers and sellers going around wholesalers is a tremendously overblown concept. Can it happen? Yeah, it happened. It happened to us. I don't know what it cost us. Probably about $7,000, $8,000, $10,000. Am I gonna change the model, the way we do things now? We're gonna protect more buyers from sellers and sellers from buyers? Are we gonna put things in place that'll prevent those interactions from happening? Are we gonna spend resources on making sure it doesn't happen? No, absolutely not. We're not going to even think about this deal, and we're going to move forward. Look, here's the reality. There's people out there that are pretty much, they're crooks. They're not ethical. They're going to screw you no matter what. No piece of paper, no structure. It's not going to prevent it. If somebody wants to screw you in this business, they're going to screw you. Now, in the end, it's going to cost them doing this. But there's no way to prevent this. There's no paperwork you could sign. There's no procedure you could put in. There's nothing you could do to 100% prevent something like this from happening. So here's my advice to you today after it actually happened to me. When somebody asks me again, gosh, Pete, I'm afraid to put buyers and the sellers together. I'm afraid of going around. My answer is not going to change one little iota. I'm going to tell them, listen, I've done thousands upon thousands of deals, and guess what? You know, it happened one time. My answer is not going to change at all. There's plenty of things in this business that to fear. Most of them are imaginary kind of fears. This is an imaginary fear. This happens so rarely, it's an imaginary fear. But I know what fear does to people. It paralyzes them. It literally shuts them down from action. So here's the way you got to look at it. Let's look at it from my perspective. Thousands of successful wholesale transactions on this end, one bad one on this end. Am I going to throw all this away for this? Absolutely not. Don't ever let fear get away from you doing this business. Bottom line is this. Even when things like this do happen, and they will, might not be in this kind of a scenario, something else may happen to you that you're not anticipating, that you're not looking out for, that you may get blindsided with. That's just the cost of doing business. It's like having renovation costs in every in a transaction. Those renovation costs, that's the cost of doing business. And guess what? If you go over by $3,000 on a renovation cost on a $20,000 project, does that mean you're never going to renovate again? No. If your realtor sells a property for $100,000, but she thought she's going to sell it for $105,000, does that mean you're never going to hire a realtor again? No, absolutely not. If your buyer goes around you with your seller, does that mean you're going to stop wholesaling, or does that mean we're going to stop wholesaling? No, absolutely not. Don't ever let fear get in the way from you doing things. In the end, this is a business with the right kind of people almost all the time, with the right kind of structuring, if you follow it most of the time, will well surpass the bad people on this side and the mistakes that you could make on this side. This business is worth it. Don't let ever fear get in the way. Listen, you guys know what we do here. We do a ton of deals. We do more deals than anyone else. And I have a private one-on-one mentoring program that I work with clients all over the United States, literally all over the world, and help them develop very successful businesses. Are they perfect businesses? No, they're not perfect businesses. Thousands of successful, every once in a while a bad one. I think you'll take it all day long. Hey, you guys know what we do here. We do a ton of deals, more than anyone else we know, and then we coach and mentor other people how to do the same thing. So number one, if you're a buyer of real estate, anywhere in the Georgia market, specifically concentrated towards Atlanta, you need to be on our buyers list. Every day we have 1, 2, 3, sometimes as many as 4 off-market wholesale deals that are equity and ROI driven. And we need to get them to you if either you're a buyer or you know other buyers. So by now, you should see my email scrolling across the screen. Send me an email and just say, add me to the buyers list. Put your contact information in there and we're gonna get you terrific off-market properties that you'll be able to make money with. The other thing we do is I have a one-on-one mentoring program where I work with clients all over the world and help them develop real estate investment businesses. Small business, if that's what you want, or a large business like ours. We could take it to whatever level you want. Again, you could send me an email directly to learn more about how I could help you in my coaching business, or right below this video, there's a link directly to my website, www.coachingbypeter.com. You can go there and learn more about how I could personally work with you one-on-one and help you become a very, very successful real estate investor. Remember, do not ever let fear paralyze you from being successful.